Hey, it is me, NDP. This is a little pre-launch review for Soulbound. It is coming out a couple of days after I upload this video. I played this for the last week. They had a demo up, and it is launching into early access. I'm gonna go over everything I learned, show you some gameplay, but overall it is pretty cool, and I'm excited to share this one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Leave me a like, subscribe for indie MMORPG and co-op content. We have a Discord server, over 1,500 on there. It is indie MMORPG themed. So I actually played this a year ago. This demo is more concise, but it is refined, and it feels much better than when I played last year. So Soulbound I'd call an MMORPG since you do see lots of players, there are channels, and it is quest driven. There is gathering and crafting. We'll go over that in a little bit, but ultimately I'd call it a cyberpunk quest driven indie MMO. So I'm just gonna get right into it. The combat is basically roguelike style where you go through waves and you upgrade your character during that little match. Progression is carried over, however, you do have a set of skills. You can also choose what skills that you take into battle, but like a MOBA or a roguelike, you do have to level up a couple of times inside that fight in order for you to get those skills. But every fight is different. It's pretty cool. I tried out mainly melee, but there are ranged weapons. You can use a staff. I went with the hammer. But I had ranged skills that kind of protected me. You don't have traditional roles, but you can play with up to 2 other players in your party. You can open world quests with them, but you can also take them into the dungeons with you. The combat may look simple. All the skills and your basic attack is auto cast, but you do have to aim and dodge and all that. It does get progressively harder as you go through waves. More mobs do come up and the difficulty does increase. But at the start, it's pretty simple. I'll show you a list of skills that I discovered. I'm pretty sure you can unlock skills from questing. I don't know how else you discover them just yet, since this is just basically a short demo kind of section of the game. But there is a good variety. You can build yourself to be kind of support for your party. You can try to get yourself more crit. You can get yourself more DPS, more armor. So there is variety with the gameplay, which is nice. But those skills are upgraded in combat. You have options every so often. It comes up pretty frequently. But you can think of those skills as MOBA style. You can build your character how you want. I think I might go ranged on early access, not sure. I forgot to mention also during a fight, at the end of every stage, the stages are only like a minute or 2 or 3 each, but you can get up to like 10 at a time. Half of those will be kind of your upgrade little stage where you can choose either to heal, or you can choose to upgrade your character for that fight, or you can choose to get yourself some gear. You'll see a chest icon. So it's a nice balance of combat, but you're also like constantly getting upgrades and loot, so it feels really nice to play. I was pretty skeptical when I played this last year, but it actually feels really good. How much time did I put into this? I only got 4 hours into the demo. I actually finished it, but it did not feel like a struggle. I enjoyed myself. The second to last stage of combat is always a boss. Sometimes they're pretty challenging. Gear does matter, and then once you defeat him, you get a loot chest at the end. Feels good. But that's basically the combat. It's pretty simple. It's all instanced. You're not fighting out in the open world, but the questing and all that is open world. You're gonna see players non-stop. This game is packed. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I think people feel how high quality the UI and the gameplay is, and I think they stick with it. This might be something some of you can main. But you're dropped into the world. You get kind of familiarized with how the game works. They teach you certain life skills. There's a little fishing mini game. There's a mini game for slicing containers, and then there's basic gathering for like herbs and wood and copper and all that. As far as gearing up goes, all your gear does change how you look, which is really awesome. I feel like that's definitely just a dying little mechanic that a lot of even AAA MMOs are kind of getting rid of that. You have to buy skins now. But gear does change how you look, and there's a whole transmog section. You just plop in whatever gear that you got. If you want to use it as a skin, you could use it as a skin. Very simple. Your gear does have level requirements, and they do boost your stats. Those corresponding stats to your skills will either affect them negatively or positively, obviously. Speaking of gear and transmog, there is no shop in-game yet. I checked out the store last year, and it was all skins if I remember right. There was no pay to win, no nothing. I know that was for sure. Let's take a look at the shop. So they've been giving me premium currency just for doing tutorial and stuff. They got some cool art in here. They do use AI, which kind of sucks for over there, but who cares, I guess. I think it's not even needed. The little customizations are dirt cheap, so you don't have to worry about looking the same as everyone else, which is cool. But yeah, no store in game yet. You're gonna have to check that out at launch, I guess. If you want to take a break from questing and combat, you could focus on upgrading your character's gear. You do this by heading to your apartment. You get it pretty pretty soon into the game. That's where you set up your crafting stations and you can upgrade them, which will also upgrade kind of your tiers of gear as well corresponding. You can kind of think of the crafting in more of a sandbox survival style, or like Rust where you have tiers, but it's pretty straightforward and it's simple to get into. I like that. It's not overly complicated. And there's also some kind of upgrading system. You can make your apartment bigger and do some other stuff in there. I didn't get too into that just yet, but that's kind of everything. We went over combat, gearing. I think this game's actually going to be pretty popular as long as they don't go the pay to win route. The world feels very lively. The maps aren't too massive. You always run into people. I ended up grouping with some people at the end to try out some group party dungeons. I found these guys just in global chat. Global chat is pretty lively with pretty much all English speakers. I was impressed. They were asking if I wanted to do this defense mission. This is where I figured out that gear does matter because we got absolutely smoked. You do heal in this game, but you do it after waves if you really need it, or you need to have some kind of healing or shielding skill. So you can't just like stand there and just tank hits. So you're kind of kiting and kind of going around mobs. We really struggled with this and we ended up losing. We didn't have the damage for it because we were kind of all playing around the mobs since they did so much damage. But it was pretty cool though. The maps and the art are really high quality. You can see right here, we duoed a dungeon right after that. You can see these sniper mobs. You have to kind of chase them down. And my character, I built heavy duty with the hammer, so I run slowly. You can also see my drones surrounding me. They explode on contact. And I also have my little minigun skills. So I kind of built myself to be kind of strong, but also have some defensive abilities. But you can see right there, the sniper mobs, they're pretty cool. That's still just like one of the first dungeons in the desert. There are some beautiful maps. If you want to see them, go check out my last video that we did on this last year. There's some really nice beach maps and water maps and some cyberpunk stuff. Really cool. Oh, cool. Beach town? Oh, massive. Oh, interesting. Fish people. Oh, we got a quest down here. Maybe we'll get a quest for the dungeon in this zone. But that's pretty much the basics of the game. You could go do some farming if you want and try to do some other life skilling. But I think it's a nice balance between dungeons, life skilling, crafting, hanging out with your friends. They did have a little shop that had some cool hoodies, so I worked on that, got myself some money, and I got myself the hoodie. So hopefully they have some more cool cosmetic stuff in game as well. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm going to keep this nice and short. I enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you go and enjoy this and play this for yourself. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Leave me a like. Subscribe for indie MMORPG and co-op content. It's all we cover on this channel. I got links in the description. If you want to game with us and keep up with the latest developing indie MMORPGs, we have a Discord server over 1,500 on there. It is indie MMORPG themed. Big thank you to our Patreon supporters, our YouTube members, and our Twitch subscribers. If you want to support the channel for free, you could use my Amazon link as well. Just any day of purchase, I get like 2% back. Remember to game for fun. Let me know what I should play next. Go to the gym, and until next time, I will see you in game.